Harris and Jerry Seltzer here at the track, and the track is located in the huge Cow Palace in San Francisco, where we have a championship round game going on here between the tremendous Chief team, led by Bill Grohl and Sandy Dunn, although Sandy Dunn is out of action in this game, and the Wild Rough Jolters, led by Cal Stevens, with a rumor going on. I haven't read about it Roller Derby Illustrated yet, but there's a rumor that Ann Calvello is negotiating to take over this club. Ann Calvello. What a move that would be for the feminist movement. She's all woman, believe me. Mike Moore on the jam here. Moving for the Jolters. Larry Lee now out of the pack for the Chiefs, but he's quite a ways back. Cal Stevens back there to block. Cal Stevens moving on Bill Grohl. There you got team blocking, and Mike Moore's in there for 4. Hey. Gibson and Stafford and Cattell set that up there, slowing that Chief pack down. Then at the opportune moment, Stevens came in with a key block from the inside that paved the way for 4 points for Mike Moore, number 4, for the Jolters, and they go out in front 33-32. That was a great play by the Jolters. Just like that it developed, Jerry.
Well, you know, it's a very great player. Charlie O'Connell, formerly coach of the Chiefs and, of course, coach of the Bombers now, said there's one thing he doesn't like in a game, and that's a 10-point lead. Because he said...
Pardon me, Jerry, there's a smoke screen out there in this track. People can see it. Gammon was throwing rosin out there, and man, he was generous. I don't think he had to pay for the rosin.
I think he's there. It's like the pitcher who goes to the rosin after a pitch that he hit so the other team hit a home run. I think the Chiefs saying the track is too slick now, but somehow their 8-point lead has evaporated.
Well, he is throwing clouds of it out there. On the jam, Charlie Gibson of the Jolters, and with him, John Early, number 47. Let's see what Early John does on this one. John moving on big Charlie Gibson. Each team with one man out on the play, and the Jolters enjoy. Oh, John is down, and Gibson moves away. Now there's blocking at the rear of the pack by Stevens and Bill Grohl. There's Gibson for the point. Stevens moving up now, but Cattell has already decked a man, and that paves the way for another point. I think that was Larry Lee he got. So there's 2 points in there for Jerry Cattell. So for Gibson and the Jolters. So the men are picking up right where the women left off, Jerry, and they're out in front 35-32 now.
Well, the halftime score was 30-22, and according to the tally sheet here, that now means in the second half it's 15-2. The Jolters have outscored the Chiefs.
Well, Stevens told me at the end of the half that he was going to pull this team together. Evidently, that is exactly what he's doing out there.
I missed the number here. It's 13-2, Walt. I'm sorry. I can't read my writing.
32-35. The Chiefs trail by 3. They get the first jammer out. Larry Lee, 44. And Jerry Cattell is chasing him. Bill Grohl is chasing Jerry Cattell. Cattell puts Larry Lee over the rail. And Bill Grohl moving on Jerry Cattell now. Rugged Bill Grohl against the blonde tiger. Here we go. Bill's got him. Hammers him with a block. Puts him down. Bill Grohl doing a workmanlike job out there on the jam. So Bill Grohl moving here for the Chiefs. He's trying to stop this runaway by the Jolters. They've definitely had the momentum, and Bill Grohl has taken it into his own hands to stop that momentum. And they need something like this, the Chiefs, to get them right back in this game before the Jolters run away and hide. Bill Grohl's the man who can do it. He's in there now. Jerry Cattell decks him in the block. Bill Grohl gets up again. There's time enough to score. About 15 seconds left. There's a block by Cattell. Grohl is down again. Woodbury is back there now to lead the charge for Bill. Big Bob Woodbury talking to Bill Grohl. 2 giants on this team. As far as ability goes, behind the back, will it be a whip? It is. Cattell into the infield across the track. And he picked up one. They worked hard for that 1 point. But that 1 point could mean a lot because it broke a string here by the Jolters, and it put the Chiefs right back in the running again. Let's see if that's what happens.
Well, of course, I think you got a very important point there, Walt. And that was that they had to break up their momentum there. And you have to credit, in a sense, Bob Woodbury, because Bill Grohl cannot leave the pack that easily unless he has blocking strength back there. Sam Tiapula out injured, and certainly you've got to say Bob Woodbury doing a more than adequate job of slowing down that pack.
35-33, the Jolters lead by 2 now. And the Chiefs are going to get the first man out, Mike Gammon. Gibson right behind him now, though. So each team has a jammer out on the play. Mike Gammon moving. If there's one jam you had to score on, I tell you, Mike's the man you would send out. Cal Stevens back there to block. Here comes Mike Gammon with the head of steam. Look at him go. I tell you what a skater, Mike Gammon.
And the official decision, 1 New York Chief point picked up by
Gibson went down on that turn. He was favoring his arm for a while. Another point for the Chiefs. So Bill Grohl going out. It could be that turned this game around again. 35-34. The Jolters now lead by 1.
Of course, Mike Gammon, what a name in the annals of roller derby. And on hand tonight here at the Cow Palace, with Gene Gammon, Jerry Murray, who of course is Mike Gammon's mother, Ken Monty, Hal Janowitz, great names in roller derby annals in the 35-year history of the sport. And of course, if our fans would like to get a free copy of the rules or put their name on the mailing list, write to either Rules or Mailing List or Post Office Box 1828, Oakland, California 94604. Please include your zip code number and the station on which you're now watching this program.
Picking up the action again in this championship round game. The Jolters are trying to get back in the battle. They have Stafford and Mike Moore out. A double block set up for Bob Woodbury. Woodbury hammers his way through there for the Chiefs. Big Bob Woodbury out on the jam, eating up that track with long strides. He just hammered his way through Stafford and Mike Moore. Sometimes it's a mistake to set up a double block on a man like this when he's got a head of steam up. So Bob Woodbury moving. He's the only man in scoring position, and there's Cal Stevens back to the block. Stevens puts Woodbury on the deck. Bill Grohl back there now to help out Bob Woodbury. Watch Bill Grohl, 49. Bob Woodbury, 48. They're moving on the muscle man, Cal Stevens, number 8 of the Jolters. There's a block. They both go down. Woodbury and Stevens. Again, Woodbury trying to outskate him there. Bill Grohl in there. Gammon went back and put Stevens down, or did he was standing on the infield and Stevens ran into him? I don't know which. I couldn't see through the skaters down at the other end to tell whether Mike Gammon was in the game or standing on the infield and Stevens was slammed into him. And he was passed, though. Stevens was passed by Woodbury for the point to tie it up at 35-35. Do you see that down there, Jerry?
I really couldn't, Walt. Usually we have a different vantage point here at the Cow Palace, but for this telecast, we're seated in a lower position, and it's very hard for us to see straight across that infield.
I saw Stevens go down, and then I saw a moment later Gammon come reeling out of there, and Gammon was not on the track in the game, so I can only assume that is exactly what happened. Anyway, the Chiefs picked up the point, scored by Bob Woodbury, and they've tied it up now, so they've certainly stopped the tide that was rushing here for this Jolter club in this championship round game from the Cow Palace in San Francisco. 35-35 is the score. We have 3:48 to go in this period. Jerry Cattell, the pivot skater, out front. John Early in there with Mike Gammon trying to move out. But the first man out is Charlie Gibson, moving here for the Jolters. John Early moving behind him. Early grabs the lead. Gibson comes back on the inside. And Early up on the rail, put there by Gibson. So Gibson all by himself for the Jolters now. Jerry Cattell drops to the rear of the pack to block, and Gibson is moving on John Early. No, he hits 41 Lloyd Turpin. Turpin now gets away from him, though, and puts a block on Gibson. But on the rail is Woodbury, put there by Cattell. But he hit the infield, so he could not go by Woodbury legitimately. Now he has, though. He's going to score more, I believe. He does. Maybe 3, maybe 4. He cut it off before Mike Gammon got there. It is 4 Jolter points. Gammon got there, but too late. Penalty on Bob Woodbury. A little action there after the jam had ended. Score now 39-35. The Jolters lead. And the Chiefs lose Bob Woodbury for the next jam.
We still got over 2 periods left in this game. But you have to feel that the momentum is definitely with the Jolters, and they're definitely skating a better game than the Chiefs. The Chiefs just seem to be a little flat so far, Walt.
39-35 is the score here in the 6th period of play. 2:10 to go in this period. Joe Perez going on the outside. Jumping Joe is out of there for the Chiefs. And Mike Moore, number 4, moving here for the Jolters. He scored 4 last time he was out on the jam. There's his block of Perez. Perez stays on his skates. Look at these men move. Perez hammering blocks into Mike Moore now. Moore hangs on the rail, and over on the floor he goes. There's Joe Perez moving for the Chiefs all by himself now. Jumping Joe in the pack. Moore is down, up again though. He came out back on the track, and every time you go down, you get up, and that pack comes along, somebody takes a shot at you, and down you go again, or you can get moving. But Joe Perez in scoring position, back there blocking on him. Cal Stevens hammering the blocks in. Big Cal. 39-35, the Jolters lead. Stevens trying to protect that lead. Perez battling along the rail, spins, goes down, gets up again, picking up speed again. Stevens back there to block. Cattell's making sure Bill Grohl doesn't drop back there. Over the rail goes Perez, the lead jammer now. Mike Moore once again, but Bill Grohl's back to the block for the Chiefs. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and that's it. No point scored on that jam. 39-35 the score remains. The Jolters in front with a minute to go here in the 6th period of play.
You don't know what Bill Grohl told the Chiefs at halftime, but I'm sure that Cal Stevens, when he left here, said, we're a big, strong defensive team, and let's shut the Chiefs out. And so far, through almost 2 periods of the second half, the Chiefs have scored just 5 points.
So here we go. 38 seconds. They've got time enough to score. First man out is Joe Stafford moving here for the Jolters. And Gibson out in front of Jammers trying to keep the Chief Jammers from getting out of there. But Mike Gammon is not to be denied. 24 seconds. He can get around that track that fast. Let's see if he can catch Stafford in the meantime. Stafford is a pretty good lead. Both men flying around that track, and they're moving on the pack with 15 seconds to go now. There's Stafford. He's moving. Bill Grohl back to the block. Mike Gammon is up there. Gammon skating. Look at him go. Mike in there. Hey, man. I told you if there's one man you had to send out with very little time left, it would be Mike Gammon. And Mike Gammon picks up 4 points for the Chiefs on sheer speed that time. Mike Gammon can really pour it on. There's Stafford still laying on the track, a little disgusted at the turn of events. He had the lead, but it was the Chiefs that scored. Great play. Mike Gammon with all the speed in the world. When you've got hardly any time left on the clock, he's the one you want to send out because he can burn up that bank track. Picking up 4 big points there for the Chiefs, a big 4 points. That makes the score here at the end of the 6th period of play. The Chiefs 39 and the Jolters 39.